Hello everyone and welcome back to Milo Farms. Well, today we're going to do a quick video about this system that I've set up on this ditch pump. I know I did a video a couple years ago about this system as well, but we're going to do just in-depth talking about the low water shutoff switch that I have on here. So this irrigation ditch right here, it has a tendency of running out of water unexpectedly for no reason, and then the water comes right back, an hour later or 15 minutes later even. I don't know if it's somebody stealing the water or if it's something malfunctions up above, but for some reason the water just goes dry for just a little bit and then comes right back. Well, the problem is you've got this pump running, and this pump's quite expensive. This is a 1 horsepower Red Lion pump. It's quite an expensive pump, not overall in the scheme of pumps how they go, but for a small operation that is an expensive piece of equipment. So we need to have a way to be able to shut this pump off and protect it from running dry with water. So I went and looked and found a whole bunch of different options for pumps that were 120 volt pumps. Those options were all over the place to shut pumps off when they ran out of water. But for a pump that runs on 240 volts, it was a little more tough to find something that was going to be durable enough for that. So let's start out here. We've got a receptacle over here that the pump plugs into. So in the winter time I can unplug that, disconnect it, and take the pump away. It goes into this extension cord and goes up here into this switch. And this switch, they call it, I believe, a tank fill switch. And so when the lever is down, in the down position, this rod is pulling down on it, indicating it's out of water, and shuts the pump off. So when water resumes, this will come back up, refill, and there's two options. One is just to leave it like I have it and come out and manually restart the pump when it's timed. Or the other option is to put another set of nuts, just like this, down below, say in this area, that would come up and would activate the pump when it filled back up. I had that originally, that setup, but the issue was the ditch would cycle on and off, and then the pump would start and stop and was going to shorten the life of the pump. So I took those off, went ahead with just the nuts on top, so when it runs out of water, this goes down, flips the lever off, and then I will see the sprinklers aren't running, come back out and go ahead and restart it manually when the water's returned. So let's look down this tube and take a look at what we have. So right here we've got the wire coming up and into the switch. There's a set of contacts inside, and then the wire coming out the other side going to the pump. Down inside of the tube here, we've got holes coming in from this side where the water from the ditch comes, goes down inside. There's a foot valve in the bottom of this pipe. The water comes up and goes into the pump. Down here at the tip of this rod, you can see it, is a toilet float, an old-fashioned toilet float. Then there's support to hold that. I have an eye bolt at the very bottom down there that holds it and keeps it centered. And then on the rod, I ended up having to add a little bit of weight because the switch was just stiff enough that that rod didn't weigh enough to click it off. Then it comes up here and has a washer just to keep it from wearing right there as badly, and then the nuts at the top. So as you can see here, if the water level were to drop, this just drops down and just rests right there. And then when the water returns, it comes back up, and then all I have to do is just flip this back up. I did end up putting a little piece of pipe underneath here to go ahead and support that lever when it comes down. I don't know if it's necessary or not, but I thought it was at least good just to have it there. And then I went ahead and mounted this switch on this board and had a bracket to go under there. You could use this same application on many different setups. If you had a concrete box, you could do the same thing, mount it on the side and have it running down inside. Lots of different options that are available there with the same idea that you could use. So I'm going to go ahead and put links in the description to all of these products here that I use, and then if you want to, you can click on those, look at them. If you wanted to buy them, you certainly can. Take a look at those products and see if you could make that work for your application. If you had a sprinkler pump that was actually running your lawn sprinklers, you could do something very similar. All you would do is bring the wire that comes from your pump start relay into one side of this, have the switch, and then back out to your pump. So when your sprinklers came on, if you ran out of ditch water, this switch would still do the exact same thing and shut it off. And then if you ran out of time on your sprinkler clock, it would shut off and also shut the pump off the same way it's designed. So hope everybody enjoyed this video. Check out the links in the description for all these products and parts on how to make this yourself. And remember, you can't finish a project without getting started.